Welcome to Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking features delicious recipes and cooking tips from the Gulf Coast's finest chefs and restaurants. Watch as popular local chefs prepare their special dishes with natural gas. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient natural gas.
My guest today is Executive Chef Chris Pichotta from V. Paul's Italian Ristorante in downtown Pensacola. Welcome, Chris.
Hi.
So good to have you. And you were rolling out some great seafood dishes at V. Paul's.
That's right.
You have 3 of them for us today. Tell us what they are.
We're doing a fish and parchment. It's going to be a flounder, and then we're going to do some crab stuffed calamari over some linguine. And we're also going to do some shrimp scampi.
Oh, they sound so good. We're going to start with our fish and parchment, which in Italian is Pesce Al Cartoccio.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Did I murder that too bad?
Nope, no, you didn't.
All right.
So
and we've got our parchment paper here. Perfect.
We've got some julienne zucchini and squash, some carrots, red onion, and some fennel bulb, fresh fennel. So we're going to start with that.
And you do all of it on your parchment paper?
It's all right here, done in, and then you can do this ahead of time as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, for the fast to go, just want to have a quick dinner or something and have it ready when you get home. So you're just going to go nice and heavy on the vegetables because they're all going to shrink down. You're just going to go ahead and salt and pepper. You're going to go decently heavy on it just because you're going to saturate it with the lemon juice and the white wine. And then you're going to take your cubed butter.
Oh, just lay it on there,
just lay it right down. Then you're going to take your flounder, same thing here. Season that up. It can be any kind of white fish, I prefer any kind of white flaky fish.
As opposed to something like salmon?
Yeah, something like salmon. It tends to get a little more fishier, and the more that kind of steams in there.
Okay.
And I just go ahead and set that right down, and then I just go ahead and take the white wine. And you're doing a decent amount because it's going to evaporate on you.
Okay.
And all it's doing is nice. It's going to be just a nice little steam bubble kind of thing.
And this is so healthy.
Yeah, it's super healthy.
It's
the worst thing that we put on there was that big hunk of butter.
There you go. And you can reduce that a little if you wanted to.
100%.
You're watching calories, but it's more or less steaming, isn't it? In its own
Yeah, it really
juices.
is. It is because really all the butter's just kind of going to the bottom. It's just
very flavorful.
Yeah.
And look, here's the flavor too.
Yeah,
These herbs.
This is nice aromatic kind of stuff going on.
What is this, rosemary?
I got some thyme, I got some rosemary and oregano. You can kind of do it whatever your preference is.
If you don't have fresh, can you use the dried?
Dry's gonna work. It's not gonna work as well though, just because that that same vibrance of that
pungency is not there.
It's just not there. So, and you can do it more or less either way. And then we're just you can start over one side. You just want to make sure
Now this is important.
all your corners are.
To watch how you fold this.
Yeah, you just want to make sure all your corners are all sealed up. There's not a bunch of debris in the center of that. Normally I start one just nice corner, then go
almost
back.
a triangle fold,
Yeah,
isn't it?
kind of triangle, and then you're gonna kind of want to fold back over.
Okay.
Pull this taut, and then you kind of just keep on going, where you're kind of pulling this side because you're gonna end up with extra. You're gonna end up with a bubble over here. But you just kind of start pulling it, and you kind of fold it back over. You just want to keep on folding it on itself so that it kind of holds itself down.
And it seals it.
Yep.
Because you don't want any of the juices coming out.
And see when it comes out of that oven, it's going to be a big bubble. And you take that and you rip that open, and it's just like a aroma that just fills the air.
This is a nice surprise. Yeah. Your guests wouldn't even know what was in there, would they?
Exactly. And you can go ahead and you can do a couple, like we were saying earlier, you can do a couple ahead of time, but you want to you don't want to do them too early. They can sit in the cooler for about, let's say 6 to 10 hours or so, but anything past that, the bag will start getting a little too moist. And this side, you just want to fold and push down nice and good, because this is that. Yeah, this is kind of the loose end, just because it's all folded on itself. And you just go ahead and. But yeah, it's just if it sits too long, then the moisture in it.
How long does this take to cook?
It's going to be about 10 minutes. It depends on the thickness of the fish and what kind of fish you're using, but the thicker the fish, obviously we're going to just put it in the oven for a little bit longer.
So do you know, Chris, like when it's done? I mean, you can't peek.
That's part of the surprise too.
I thought about
But
that.
you can,
Like,
but
how do
you can
know?
always, you can always go a little further on it if you want, or
Yeah.
it just depends on how you prefer your fish
Yeah.
as well.
And you do this a couple of times, you'll learn.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you'll figure it out pretty fast.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So this is ready to go in the oven.
It's ready to rock.
Okay, let's put it in there, and we actually have one in there
Yes,
that's
we do.
done. So we'll get to see the finished product.
Okay.
And this is at what temperature?
This is at 425 for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay. Oh, look how nice that came out.
Yeah.
And it did bubble.
Yeah.
See, it's got.
And you just want to be careful with the, just the steam.
Okay.
Could possibly, Mm-hmm. And, it smells great.
It smells great. So do we tear it open?
We do. We can. We just,
Oh, do you eat it in the parchment paper?
You can, or you can take it and slide it right out. Either
Look
way.
at this. I want everyone to see how beautiful this is.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And
Look
see how
at
how that brittleness is starting to kind of happen.
Yes.
But,
that is cooked to perfection.
yeah, it's good.
You have your vegetables and your protein.
You got your herbs. You can just discard that with your paper. And I like to do this dish with at the restaurant. We do it with a almond brown butter, and it fits it perfect. So
Not bad.
yeah.
Good glass of wine and
Yeah,
you're in
maybe a little bit of
heaven.
lemon just to just test it up a little bit more. Why not?
Yes, perfect. I love this. So you're coming up with a lot of unique recipes.
Yeah.
And you all are open now for lunch.
Yep, we've got lunch going on. It's we're doing it all the way Tuesday through Saturday now. So
Perfect. There's
That's
so much
going well.
going on downtown now that,
Yeah.
it's a dining destination for
Yeah.
lunch and dinner.
yeah, it's booming.
Yes, it is. And we're so glad you're open for lunch.
Yeah.
Another option downtown.
Yep, it's a good lunch. It's very inexpensive, and good sandwiches and stuff like
Yeah,
that. We
good
got some
quality food.
flatbread, all that stuff.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, this is beautiful. This is our first dish from V. Paul's. We're going to take a commercial break and start our next seafood dish right after this. Okay? Stay tuned.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
We started KW Homes in 1987, and we've been building custom homes in the area since then. A lot of our customers are asking for natural gas. I went with it in my personal home. I especially like the tankless water heater. When we have family over, we don't run out of hot water, which is great. Just keeps on making it as long as we need it, which is really nice.
Pensacola Energy. Go blue and save green.
Natural gas dryers may cost a little more than electric ones, but they dry clothes quicker, making them cost half as much to run. So now who's getting taken to the cleaners? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Local home builders are seeing greater demand for natural gas. Here's what they have to say.
The comments that I've heard from the customers who've had the all-electric homes and moved to a natural gas home are the convenience and ease. Being able to turn their stove on and get that heating just right. And of course, something like the tankless, which would give them the endless hot water. So there is a convenience level that comes with gas, and I think, I want to say comfort. There's a comfort level that comes from having natural gas in your home.
Pensacola Energy. Go blue and save green.
Our next seafood dish from V. Paul's is crab stuffed calamari.
Yeah, and we're gonna put that on a bed of Alfredo with linguine.
Oh, that sounds wonderful, wonderful. And look at these beautiful calamari.
Yeah.
How nice. And Chris, you have crab
Yep.
mixture already done.
Yeah, the crab cake's already done. You can use whatever kind of crab cake recipe you have or prefer. Or crab just in general is going to work in there.
Okay.
So
Good deal.
you're going to start out, first off, you're going to go ahead and just score the end of it. Now what this is doing is making a little air pocket release valve kind of thing.
Okay.
To where, because once we stuff this in, if there's any air in the tip of that, then it's going to push all the stuffing out.
Oh, that's an important
Yes,
tip.
it is.
If you want a pretty product,
It took
right?
me a little second to figure that one out. I was like, why is this
So
keep
you're
on
just
coming out?
slitting just a little
slitting it.
bit.
Just enough, yeah, to where,
That little
it's
tail
not gonna
part.
it's not gonna start flying out the other side either, but so yeah, just the small piece. And just go ahead and slit it. And And then you just want to make sure you're checking for cartilage and anything like that in here, and make sure there's nothing in there. So,
Okay.
and then you're just going to take your crab meat, pull it up, and just start working on it.
These are a little thick. I mean, it's not a real thin,
No, I mean, it's not super thin.
so
I mean,
that it's not going to split on you if you try to stuff it. I mean,
yeah, like
it's easy to
this
stuff.
This is pretty easy. This
Okay.
is a lot like if you're doing like sausage casing, stuff like that, to where, yeah.
And I like these because you said you could do them ahead of time.
Yeah, no, and this whole dish is like, it's made to be able to do ahead of time, just because, you know, the prep on it, like you're gonna see, it's a decent kind of hefty load here, so. We got one done. And this is about, I want to say about six, 7. We're just going to stuff up 3 here.
Okay.
The portion size on it, at the restaurant, nobody finishes it. So
Really?
it's a hefty meal, but I mean, you got stuff to take home with you too.
That's
the
good.
I mean, that's the good thing
It
for
sure
me
is.
personally, for Italian food. That's something I love.
I do too.
Be able,
You know, usually your
just have
dishes
those
are
leftovers.
very ample. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
loaded. It's gonna be so good. And you know what I have enjoyed lately is your bar bites.
Yeah, we just came out with that at the beginning of this month here, and it's been going really well. People are really enjoying it.
You sit at the bar, you know, in
It's
the
a
evening
beautiful
with a
bar,
beautiful
too.
or great
Yeah.
glass of wine, and the bar bites are kind of appetizer.
Yeah,
Style, or is it-
and what we're trying to do is we're trying to not make somebody come in and, you know, have to decide with one thing, choose one
Right.
thing. We want them to be able to come in, have a couple things, and spend just as much as you would if you were
Right.
having dinner all the way across the board.
Works perfect.
And then that way you can kind of mix up your palate and stuff like that.
But your bar is beautiful.
Yeah,
And you have an extensive wine list, to say
it's
the
very
least.
large, yes. I'm still working on trying to find them all.
Well, it's
So-
nice that your servers are well-versed in wine and can certainly
Yeah.
help any of your guests select
definitely do.
the wine to
Yeah.
go with the dish they order.
Yeah, we're actually going through training. We have some training going on today down in the restaurant for wine, all that. So, all right. So we got this done here.
So you say how many come to a serving?
We do 3 at the restaurant, and yeah, like I said, it's about 6 ounces of crab meat and crab cake.
It's a nice serving.
mix. Yeah.
And you got Alfredo sauce going with
So we've got
this?
Alfredo sauce. We make that all, you know, we make all our sauces in-house. The Alfredo sauce itself is it's a cream reduction with some butter in it, and some, we just sweat some garlic and some onion down. And
Listen, that'll make anything taste good.
there it is, yep.
I love Alfredo sauce.
All right, so we got that. We're gonna get that out of the way. All right, and then, so what we're doing here is we're just gonna take our Alfredo sauce. This can be warm, this can be cold, either way. You know, it's gonna be a little more malleable if it's cold or if it's warm. But what you're doing is you're just trying to coat the pasta itself, so that once we put this in the oven, it's gonna wanna, you know, it's gonna kind of wanna dry out on us. So you gotta be kind of generous with the
Okay.
Alfredo sauce. And I mean, you know, you can always put some extra on there after it comes out of the oven, but just to make sure that this pasta's all the way covered up and coated.
And so that it doesn't dry out. You
Yeah,
want
just so it
moist.
doesn't. Well, you know, like I mean, if you don't cover up a pasta with a sauce and you throw it in the oven, it's going to get that
Very dry.
it's nice and yeah, it's going to get all crispy on you. So then we, you know, just make a nice little bed and platform. Just going to take a calamari.
Lay those right on there.
Lay them right down. And then same thing with the cheeses here. So this is a mozzarella. And you're just going to make sure that cheese starts covering up all the pasta as well. Now you can play around with the portion sizes here. So we got mozzarella I just put on there. We got some fontina here. And all this is going to really kind of just melt down and just get
3
nice.
different flavors, huh?
Yeah, well, and then it's kind of a little play on almost like a lasagna, you know, that nice crispy cheese you get in the corners. It's all the way around the rim, so it's there.
This is one rich dish here,
Yeah,
Chris.
it's loaded up. It's Good, like 3-pound dish right here.
Wow. So that's ready to go in the
And
oven.
that's it. That's ready to go in the oven. We're going to take one out of the oven, I think, here.
Okay.
All right.
And this cooks at what temperature?
This one's going to be at about 450 or so,
Okay.
and that's going to go for about 12 minutes or so.
So you just need to heat it through.
You're gonna, yeah. So pretty much what's taking the longest is the actual stuffed calamari itself, which is fine because you really don't want to overcook the calamari because once you get there, then it's going to get really chewy on you.
Yes.
But-
So you don't want to overcook it.
Yeah, you don't
For
want to
sure.
overcook it, but you still want to get that nice golden brown on the top. So you just want
Can't
to be
wait to
careful.
see this.
And you just want to use a nice oven friendly dish, and preferably if you have two, so you can take and slip it into another bowl here.
Look how nice this came out. Wow. No, it's
Nice
perfect.
crunchy cheese on the outside.
It's perfect.
There.
And your crab mixture stayed in very well.
Yeah,
See, that
it was-
little
yeah,
slit did
A
it.
little bit. It's still
Well, that looks rich and yummy.
yeah.
I cannot wait to try this. So we are going to take another break and get
Right.
our last dish ready for you,
Yeah.
and that is shrimp scampi.
Yeah, shrimp scampi
one of
coming
my
up.
favorites.
All right, good.
We'll be right back after this, so stay with us.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
I would say majority of our homeowners that come in and talk to us and see us, that is one of the first items that gets brought up would be natural gas. A lot of our customers are on the energy efficiency side. There's really no way you can argue the efficiency of gas over power, in my opinion. That is a very, very big selling point in our houses is natural gas.
Go blue and save green with natural gas from Pensacola Energy. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Heating water with electricity versus natural gas can cost twice as much, and tankless natural gas water heaters can add even more savings. So don't get soaked with higher energy costs. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
We started KW Homes in 1987, and we've been building custom homes in the area since then. A lot of our customers are asking for natural gas. I went with it in my personal home. I especially like the tankless water heater. When we have family over, we don't run out of hot water, which is great. Just keeps on making it as long as we need it, which is really nice.
Pensacola Energy. Go blue and save green.
Up next is shrimp scampi.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we're just going to let this pan get nice and hot for us.
This is one of my favorites.
Good. I'm starting to enjoy it more these days than I have in the past.
So you're just going to add olive oil to this. This is really a very simple one-pan dish, isn't it?
It's a really nice, yeah, and just for simplicity wise, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the pan hot, we're going to sear the shrimp, and then we'll go ahead and take them out about halfway through their cooking process so that when we put them back into the pasta and the hot sauce, then they finish up right there.
Okay.
One of the things that people do with shrimp is it's just a tendency of people is overcooking shrimp. And, you know, there's just...
Worst thing you can do,
It's
isn't it?
really, I mean, it might as well just overcook a scallop. I mean,
That's right.
either way.
I mean, it's just, they're
It's just
tough.
seafood in general just gets overcooked around.
You can actually undercook seafood, can't
Yeah,
you?
no, you can.
Yeah.
mean-
a lot of people don't think they.
I would
can.
prefer it that way, you know, especially if you know where it's coming from. And that's one of the things that I pride down at B. Paul's. I pride myself on the freshness of our seafood.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm so glad you
Yeah.
included some of these great seafood dishes because, you know, in Italy, the old country, seafood is a great part of their cuisine.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And,
especially
you know,
down in the
clean
south.
ingredients.
yeah,
You
nice
know,
and clean.
cooked to perfection.
And just
You can't
simple
beat it.
recipes too. Some of them, you know, some of the recipes that we have here is they're not that complicated. You know, I mean, like
No.
this is less than 10 items here. All right, so we're gonna grab our shrimp. We're gonna just got a little canola oil here. And that's just enough to get it.
What
pan
size are
coated.
these shrimp, Chris?
These are actually 13, 1515s.
Medium size?
They're decently large. You know,
Okay.
like your medium-sized shrimp are going to be, normally salt and pepper before you hit the pan. Your medium size is going to be more of like a 2125 or a 1620.
And the tails are on.
Tails are on. At the
Yeah.
restaurant, you know, we generally take them off just for functionality. You know, I mean, it's just, there's, you know, some people kind of tend to get a little annoyed with
having to mess with them,
Having,
right?
well, yeah, they're inside a pasta dish. You know, like most people just want to go at the dish. They just want to eat
Right.
it. They don't want to have to deal with a bunch of tails and edibles.
And you butterflied these.
Yep, we went ahead and butterflied these. All we're doing is we're just getting that nice hot. We're gonna par cook them here almost. We're just gonna cook them halfway and just get them to where they're almost there, but not enough. Just so
Yeah,
that we
well,
don't.
how will you know when they're at that stage?
Well, when they start turning white here,
Okay.
and you're gonna get a little bit of brownness to them, and then just on the bottom, and then so that white's gonna keep on coming up, just because they're butterflied and laying out, spread out.
Okay. So lean toward undercooking.
Yeah,
as
because you can
opposed
always,
to overcooking.
once you put it into the actual sauce itself, you can always let that sauce go a
That's
little
right.
longer and
Right.
let it sit. So
Those look good.
yeah. You already kind of got a little bit of brown,
Oh,
but you're
yeah.
not cooked fully here. And so we're gonna take those off.
Well, that was like a minute.
Yeah, not long at all.
And if your pan's hot, that's the secret too, isn't it?
Yeah, you really want a hot pan because I mean anything you put into a cold pan is going to have a tendency to stick on you too. So and we're rolling right into the sauce too with the one pan saucer here. So we kind of have a little bit of those shrimp remnants in there, and then we're gonna go ahead and some garlic. We tend to go a little heavy on garlic. We are, we're Italian, so.
That's right. Everything's better with
Yeah.
more garlic.
More garlic. And I got some shallots here we're throwing in.
Looks good. Chris, you grew up cooking.
I did. Twin Cities, Minnesota, and then Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've been down here about 12 years almost now.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you're Italian, did
Yeah.
you pick up a lot of these dishes from family members?
A little bit from my grandparents and stuff like that. But some of these seafood dishes that we're doing here are a little different than
Yeah.
traditional.
Well, you get to use your creativity.
Yeah, which is always
Okay.
nice, I mean, that's one issue that I just don't want to get locked into a box.
And your
so.
dishes are so beautiful.
I appreciate
at
that. Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
this certainly is an example, but I mean, it's just, like we always say, you eat with your eyes first, and
Yep.
you really do at B. Paul's.
Yeah.
It's very
well, good.
nice.
I appreciate that. So we're just letting this until the onions kind of tenderize on us, get a little transparent. We're just letting those kind of cook down. And you're just going to get that nice sweetness from the garlic and the shallot and the onion. It's going to be nice, and that's going to go and hang out with the white wine and the lemon juice really well. And then the acidity from the tomatoes.
And then you got some herbs here
Yeah,
too.
we got some fresh basil, some parsley, and some green onion. Normally I'll finish the dish off with that, but I also like to put some of that into the actual dish so that it kind of gets spread out.
Good.
Okay, so we're starting to cool down here a little, or starting to kind of tenderize. The onions are getting a little
Yeah,
nice
that's
transparent.
right.
So we're got the white wine. We're gonna do a decent amount of white wine. So really what we're doing here with our sauce is it's majority white wine and it's lemon juice. Really,
Is that like a Chardonnay?
It is like a Chardonnay,
Okay.
yeah. And I mean, that's really where we're trying to have the base of this sauce. And see, I didn't put too much lemon juice in there because we can always add a little bit more.
Okay.
We're just gonna kind of let that cook down a little bit for a second.
Well, it does. Let's talk about your
Yeah.
event room that you have at B. Paul's.
We've got it can seat up to about 150, 160, and then standing room it's about 200. And we do a lot of weddings and stuff like that there too.
And it's a private room, so you can enjoy the ambiance of it and privacy.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice addition to the restaurant.
I think so too. And and then we also have some private events, or not even private events, but just events in general there. We have a Vivo Magnifico, which is a wine dinner that we kind of just
That's
everybody.
right.
It's like a wine tasting, and it happens it happens every month now. So.
Okay. And if our viewers want to find out about
Yeah.
those wine dinners or wine,
Yeah. Just go over to vpauls.com
on your website.
on the website, and it'll show you our event calendar coming up. So
Okay.
got a lot of new stuff coming up. And
Yes, you do.
So
It's always so much
it's good,
fun.
yeah.
So much fun with delicious food.
Good. And then so I got some they're just roasted tomatoes. You just take some tomatoes, toss them with some olive oil and some garlic, some shallot, salt and pepper, and you just roast them off in a really hot oven, just for a couple minutes, just until they kind of, because you don't want to compromise the tomato. You still want to have some kind of
bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it sure brings out the sweetness of those tomatoes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That is looking good.
Yep. And generally at the restaurant, we'll throw a little bit of like our house-made marinara sauce. So it'll become even a little bit more tomatoey, which generally a lot of people they don't expect the tomato in the shrimp scampi, just because it's shrimp scampi and it's not as traditional as people
It adds a lot of flavor.
And it fits. I think it does. And
I do too.
so we've got that going, and then we're going to go ahead and just add some of this basil to it.
That you chiffonade.
Yep, chiffonade basil, and we got some. It's just some rough chopped parsley, and just some bias cut green onions.
While you finish this up, Chris, I'm going to give everyone our telephone number. If you would like written copies of today's recipes, you can call Pensacola Energy at 436-5050, or you can visit our website, coastalcooking.com.
All right. Well, I just put the shrimp in, and what we're going to do is we're just going to let them simmer in that sauce for just probably about a minute.
Okay.
Just one more minute. So then, really, we're only cooking them for about 2 minutes, 2.5, 2.25. Just depending. And then I'm just taking that butter, and I'm just letting it kind of swirl it in there, and we're going to do 3 cubes right there.
Perfect. Before we leave, we want everyone to know where you're located.
South of Garden. Just a couple buildings down.
Yeah, right on Palafox.
Right there on Palafox, main strip. So, yeah.
Absolutely. For lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner. We're doing that Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
Both.
Closed Sunday and Monday.
Closed on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, I mean, we're ready to rock here.
Certainly visit your website.
Yeah.
Find out when you've got your wine tastings.
The wine tastings, all the special events that are coming up.
Chris, look at this. This is magnificent. And all that rich sauce.
Yep, right over the top.
My goodness. I'm going to be feasting today, right?
I sure hope so.
I think I will. I think I'm going to enjoy a bit of this. Look what a beautiful dish. Well, you have done an amazing job.
Well, I appreciate you for having me.
And I love all of your seafood creations that our viewers can sample at V. Paul's, along with other traditional Italian dishes.
And we even have quite a bit more seafood as well.
Oh, okay. That's another show.
Yep.
How about that?
All right.
And you're going to be at the Seafood Festival.
Yeah. Yes, I will.
Coming up at the Seafood Grill. He'll be one of our featured chefs, so we hope everyone will come out and watch you perform your magic there.
I'm there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you again. It was so much fun. We hope you'll join us again next week, because we'll be back with more Coastal Cooking.
This has been Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient, natural gas. Join us each Sunday at 6 p.m. for more Coastal Cooking.